thinking about that, what are your thoughts about, bringing this forward, making this treatment more accessible? How do you think it will change the industry? And just how do you think other mental health providers will fare moving forward with this new medicalized treatment?
Yes, excellent question. Yeah, I think that there is so much positive outcome that, in so many ways when it comes to what is available for mental health treatment has either been very lengthy treatments that are available or something that, I think about the efficacy of your basic SSRIs, for instance, where it's like it's a flip of a coin if that's going to actually produce the effects that we're hoping for in a client. And then you have something like ketamine. The clinic I work with also partners with from time to time Dr. Calabrese, who did this study. She is also a ketamine clinician, and she did a study out of her own clinic. Funny enough, she has no research affiliation, but just decided to do this on her own with her own work and background without any IRB. She had to figure out how to get in touch with the IRB on her own. It was very, very amazing, in fact. But nonetheless, she had this beautiful sample size of 290 of her patients who were experiencing chronic suicidal ideation, and she reduced their ER visits by 90%. And so
Wow.
That is incredible when we think about the way in which that's going to impact suicidal ideation alone, and then just what that does for depression and what that means for crisis situations too. Does that mean that we have to put everyone directly into a 72-hour hold at a psychiatric facility waiting for them to get the help they need? That really changes things in a very pivotal way in the first line of treatment, even for some of these situations. So I think that it has so many positive aspects, but I think it also should be held with deep respect and deep intentionality and responsibility too, because just as these medications and these medicines can be used in a very positive way when they're used without knowing the knowledge behind it, without taking all the intention and care, it can be very harmful too. Sometimes we see this whenever unfortunately, we've had a couple of clients come to our clinic and have situations where they were not held very intentionally. And as a result, they have very negative experiences. And God forbid that be with a client that has PTSD or some sort of trauma history. It can absolutely re-traumatize and exacerbate symptoms. And so I think one of the things is just being very intentional about the work you do and very well informed. I know I mentioned at the beginning that there's a lot of resources available on YouTube, and yes, absolutely. But making sure you're doing this with a mentor or some form of an individual who has already been working extensively with psychedelics beforehand too, because we want to have, there's no such thing really as too much supervision in this case, I would say, because each medicine is different, each way in which it's administered is different, and the setting and the set there is also going to have so many different implications. And really, I would love to see a future too, where it's a client comes in, they have whatever a diagnosis, and instead of being well, ketamine is what is legally available right now, I would love to say, no, your case would be great to start off with a dose of MDMA. And if after that it's indicated for, let's follow up with some ketamine sessions or psilocybin sessions, then we go in that direction too, instead of just, oh, ketamine's available. And I'm not knocking ketamine. I'm just saying that I really would love to see a very patient-centered focus on the way in which we're using these substances.
Right, and making it just as accessible as the SSRIs, the anti-anxiolytics, and everything else that's currently available.